Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Larrett, CEO of UCSF Medical Center and Benioff Children's Hospitals. This is a very big day for us because on this land that was, for many years, the rail yard, the wrong side of the tracks, decrepit warehouse buildings, about a decade ago, there was a vision that this would be a site of a new hospital serving the people of San Francisco, California, the country, and the world. And today we celebrate the vision becoming a reality. On Monday of this week, at the far end of this block, we began seeing patients in the Ron Conway Family Gateway Medical Building, our outpatient center. And in just 3 days, on Sunday morning, we will start caring for patients in the Betty Irene Moore Women's Hospital, the Baker Cancer Hospital, and the Benioff Children's Hospital, San Francisco, the lobby of which we are sitting in right now. It took a village to make this happen. There are so many people in this room here today who were critical to its planning, its construction, its operational planning, its approvals, and support to make it happen. We will introduce some of those people later this morning, but I, in particular, want to bring your attention to the generosity of our philanthropic supporters who made this project a reality. Joining us today are Mark and Lynn Benioff. Lynn served on our campaign cabinet for years. Next to them, thank you, Mark and Lynn. Next to Lynn Benioff is Dick Rosenberg, who has chaired the UCSF Foundation, currently chairs the UCSF Health Board Executive Council, and was a member of our campaign cabinet. Thank you, Dick. Next to Dick is Dee Dee Wilsey, who chaired our campaign cabinet and has been just a great supporter of this city and improvements, and particularly projects of the magnitude of UCSF. So thank you, Dee Dee, for your support. And next to Dee Dee Wilsey is Bill Obendorf, who is the chair of the UCSF Foundation Board of Overseers and been a great supporter. Thank you, Bill. And in the front row, I will introduce, there's one beautiful young woman in the middle there. That's Barbara Bass Baker. Barbara also served on the campaign cabinet, and she and Gerson have generously supported us, and for which the Baker Cancer Hospital is named. So thank you, Barbara. And next to Barbara, to her left, is Ron Conway, who the Ron Conway family has been extremely generous to us, and Ron also served on our campaign cabinet for many years. So thank you particularly for our supporters. I do want to acknowledge Chuck Feeney of Atlantic Philanthropies, who has been a major help in bringing this project to reality. He's unable to be with us today, as are Gordon and Betty Moore, who also are major supporters and for whom the Betty Irene Moore Women's Hospital is named. Why did we build this hospital? Well, it was stimulated in part by state seismic requirements to upgrade our facilities, but that was really just the beginning for us. We wanted to have on this site a link of clinical programs to the research campus just across the street. We wanted to develop modern facilities that better served our patients and families in a true healing environment, and we needed growth space. As UCSF Medical Center and our various hospitals have become a destination for patients, not only from California and the US, but from around the world, and we really have been bursting at our seams. We think this is a tremendous opportunity, a tremendous boon for the city of San Francisco, and with that in mind, I would like to introduce the Chancellor of UCSF, a colleague of mine for many years, an individual who started at UCSF as a young research scientist, led our neonatal intensive care unit, was chair of the Department of Pediatrics, was dean of the medical school here, and is now UCSF's 10th chancellor. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sam Hawgood.
Thank you, Mark, and let me begin by thanking you for your extraordinary leadership over the last decade in helping us first envision this hospital and then doing a lot of the hard work on many fronts to enable us to get to this really magnificent day, which is a landmark day for healthcare in not just the city of San Francisco, but in the Greater Bay Area, in Northern California, throughout the United States, and for some patients, even globally. It is truly a remarkable building, but as Mark said, while we're celebrating the completion of the facilities today, what will happen on Sunday is the really event that we are looking forward to, and that is welcoming families and patients into these facilities so that we can enhance their care, provide care, healing, and world-class medicine and technology. Just to the north of us, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Mission Bay campus, lies more than 2 million square feet of state-of-the-art research space, unquestionably the most exciting space, I think, on the planet for biomedical research now. And this hospital will complement that so that we can not only provide state-of-the-art care, but we can, in fact, reinvent the future of medicine as we know it over the next decade. And these facilities have been a magnet for me and other leaders in the Children's Hospital, in the Cancer Hospital, and the Women's Hospital, and in fact throughout UCSF healthcare to attract world-class talent to San Francisco so that we can be leaders. Just tomorrow, the President in the White House will announce a major national initiative on precision medicine, a concept that was born here at UCSF, and we are very proud to be leaders in what will be a revolution in medicine over the next decade. I would just like to recognize many of the leaders of our faculty and staff who are here in the room, leaders of the Children's Hospital, Donna Ferraro and Hanman Lin, and our most recent faculty member that we were able to recruit all the way from London. I think the weather today, he thinks it's a good move, but Alan Ashworth, who we recruited from London to be the head of our cancer programs here, both clinical and research. So welcome, Alan, to this event. So now I would like to recognize Supervisor Jane Kim, who has just told me this is her hospital. And thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now, this hospital, in all of its complexity, would not have occurred or would not have taken place in the way it has without the tremendous support of the mayor of our city of San Francisco and the entire Board of Supervisors who worked with us very closely on many, many initiatives to make this hospital the world-class facility it is and the asset to the city and county of San Francisco. To mention just a couple, we have the first and only helipad in San Francisco on the roof of the Conway family Gateway Medical Office Building. And outside the plaza that you see here resulted from the Board of Supervisors agreeing to close 4th Street and enhance the hospital and the campus for the care of our patients. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Mayor Ed Lee and to thank him and the entire Board of Supervisors for their support on this remarkable project. Mr. Mayor.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. This is so exciting. I want to, first of all, congratulate Chancellor Hawgood and Mark Larrett for your wonderful leadership. The relationship between UC San Francisco, our general hospital, and the city is one that is very, very unique. But before I go through more of the details that I'm excited today to reflect on, let me say this. You know, there's a new gold rush in San Francisco. And the gold rush is about talent, not about nuggets of gold, but about nuggets of knowledge and talent. And this is what UC San Francisco has been mining for so many decades. And it's a gold rush. I want to say that because that was one of the most exciting times in the history of our city. And I want to compare that to what is happening here in Mission Bay and with our relationship with UCSF, that they're mining the future and the present talent of the entire world to come here and to innovate. And that is attracting as much as what San Francisco was in the late 1800s when we said gold, the opportunities to improve life, to save lives, to improve the livelihood of family and children is the new gold rush. And that is why today San Francisco is on a 3.8% unemployment rate in the city. Its lowest in its entire history, modern history, from what we know, is because the healthcare industry, particularly through the leadership of UCSF, is driving this talent gold rush in the city. I have to say, and I will continue always, and I know Supervisor Kim knows that every time I come down here, I got to remind people you're standing on the 160-yard line for my 6-iron at the Mission Bay driving range, okay? And when Mayor Willie Brown, and then after him, Mayor Gavin Newsom, had the vision to invite Stem Cell Research Center here, establish with the cooperation with UCSF and provide the first blocks, I was there hitting my golf balls innocently into this very underutilized rail yard area, not knowing what was going to be the future. And then Mayor Willie Brown invited me to be the Director of Public Works. And we got to work making sure that the infrastructure of this new Mission Bay was going to be done in such a way that it enticed private investment. And I think we did it the right way. And UC led it, but now you look at a multitude of campus entities that are out here with the biotechnology, stem cell, the pharmaceutical companies with their R&D here to complement all of the activities that UCSF Medical Campus has invited here. It's an incredible story, and it's one that I know the Brookings Institute has documented, but more and more I will say that anyone who is looking at any city and any urban area has to understand how you take underutilized land and transform it. You've got to lead with the talent. Now, I often saw when I was in my earlier years that UCSF on that Parnassus campus was kind of like the Camelot campus up there. A lot of things were happening, but we didn't know whether or not this was going to be able to flower as it has done. And so it has done it in such a beautiful way, and they didn't do it alone. It was a partnership that had to be really cemented with a strong vision of all of the different things that we wanted to have happen. Because you can imagine 10 years ago, I think a lot of people would have doubted whether or not stem cell was the right thing, and biotech research and all the things that UC was talking to us about, whether we could embrace it in a way in which it has demonstrated itself today. Well, not only did they cause belief in the city, but they also got fantastic partners to do the same, business leaders from this incredible city. And you know, today on this medical campus, it's 3 hospitals plus an outpatient facility that is established here. Wonderful, wonderful collaboration with our business leaders. And I want to just acknowledge again the leadership that was put here by Mark and Lynn Benioff through the establishing of the Children's Hospital, not just here, but they've also made that similar commitment to Oakland. Healthcare has no boundaries. It shouldn't just happen in Mission Bay. It's got to happen for the entire region. And so I'm happy to see this happening in our Mission Bay. And, you know, I think not only great business leaders, but they lead with their commitment to improving people's lives and their health. And for a children's hospital in the most modern facility here, that's ultimately part of this talent of Gold Rush attraction. To have the Gerson and Barbara Baker Cancer Center here. Yet again, another demonstration of people who are not only in the business community, but have matched up what they truly believe in helping improve people's lives. Cancer has yet to be solved, but I know that somewhere in Mission Bay, some kid working in some laboratory now, in addition to making the right chromosomes to make me taller in the future, they will solve the serious cancer challenges of today. And I just want to, again, acknowledge and thank Gerson and Barbara Baker for their wonderful leadership on this. And of course, you heard earlier, Gordon and Betty Moore Women's Health Center Hospital is the third part of this, a tribute to the needs of women and families will be right here, and again, led by wonderful business leaders who also saw the need to have this happen. My good friend Ron and Gail Conway to establishing the outpatient clinic, yet another great business leader who has in many ways demonstrated along with the others their commitment to improving lives for everyone, establishing this outpatient clinic. All in all, the talent here continues to attract more and more people, and so I want to just give a big shout out to the entire foundation and its board of trustees, from individuals like Bill Obendorf and Dee Dee Wilsley. Of course, Chuck Finney was also mentioned already, along with Dick Rosenberg, that all of you are helping us understand these unique relationships that have to happen if we're going to be a successful city. Health care is our #1 job creator industry right now. It is the tremendous contribution to not only unemployment, but to the accelerating of so many other jobs, so many buildings. And it will be a fantastic Mission Bay that will also have the tribute of having a new Warriors Arena not too far from here as well. There's a connection there with our youth and with the excitement that happens in the city, all happening in Mission Bay that was a very underutilized place for many years, but our imaginations took over, but our commitment to people is what drove this so well. And now to have, as Chancellor indicated, a national discussion of precision medicine led in great part by UC. To have this happen in our hometown here is an incredible story. It's a big thank you to this $1.5 billion campus of enthusiasm, of innovation. This will be a big, big reason why we're asking and inviting 400 mayors this June to come to San Francisco and look what we have and what we can demonstrate in this collaboration. And I know Salesforce and Mark, you're going to be excited to introduce all these mayors to what all of the things that are happening here can be demonstrated across the entire country. And I know these other mayors are going to be asking a lot of great questions about how this happened. And I'm going to be telling them, unless you have a city that is collaborative, unless you have investments from the private sector, unless you have businesses understanding what we're trying to do, UC couldn't do this alone, the city couldn't do this alone. It's that entire magical collaboration that exhibits the talent gold rush that is going on in our city. With that, if I may present to Mark and the Chancellor, today has got to be UC Medical Center Day here in San Francisco.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. As we were planning these facilities, we had lots of input, architects, others who'd built hospitals, but we wanted to pay attention to the people who knew what a hospital is all about most personally, and that was the patients and families who use it. I'm very pleased today to introduce Sally McDonald. She's a third-generation San Franciscan whose daughter Maggie was a longtime patient at UCSF. Very sadly, Maggie passed away 1 year ago, but Sally was incredibly generous in sharing her personal insights and experiences to make sure that the facilities we built would serve the needs of patients and their families. So please join me in welcoming Sally McDonald.
Thank you very much. I am very honored to be here representing the voice of families who will use these hospitals. UCSF has been listening to my voice and the voice of other family members throughout the several years it took to get these buildings designed and built. They listened to the concerns that families had about being able to stay in the room with the patients, and now they can. They listened to concerns about a need for a private place for families to gather or to speak with doctors out of the earshot of the patient and work them into the design. They listened to the needs of moms like me or close family members of any patient to be part of the team, and usually appreciated the input I gave. They understood that when a family member is in the hospital, time stops, but the world continues, and provided amenities that assist families in keeping their world together while being there for the patient. There are programs to entertain the frightened siblings of the patient and resources for families. Something as simple as the use of a fax machine or a washing machine can be a godsend. UCSF understood that healing requires more than the excellent medical care they provide. It requires an environment that will be soothing and calm for everyone. The private rooms and the extensive gardens and outdoor spaces provide that. Unless you have a member of your family who needs this level of care, you may not appreciate how important these things are for families, but I assure you they are. In the Children's Hospital, and I'm sure in all of these hospitals, there are many patients who spend weeks or months in the hospital, many coming from long distances, staying away from family and their support system, or, in my daughter Maggie's case, spend their entire life in and out of the hospital. I've made many friends in the hallways of UCSF at all hours of the day and night. It is a world unto itself. And now with this fantastic new complex of hospitals, it is a whole new world. I do want to publicly thank UCSF, Benioff Children's Hospital, for the wonderful care my daughter received throughout her life. Maggie was a pioneer in a pioneering hospital. She lived longer and better than anyone might have expected because we were lucky enough to get our care here. With this new facility, the next generation of Maggies will live even longer and even better. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. Well, Sunday is Super Bowl, but it is our Super Bowl here at UCSF as well. We will be moving close to 200 patients from our Parnassus and Mount Zion Hospital to this magnificent new facility here at Mission Bay. We are asking for our community's support as there are going to be 40 ambulances, one leaving every 4 minutes from Parnassus and then later from Mount Zion to move patients from there to here. We're hoping for a minimum of disruption, but if there is any disruption, we'll apologize to our community in advance. I want to thank, in particular, the San Francisco Police Department, Greg Sir, San Francisco Fire Department, Chief Joanne Hayes-White, who is here, for their support in helping us execute this on Sunday morning. Before we wrap up, we've got a couple more things to do. I just want to mention some logistics. So at the end of this, of the prepared remarks here, we have people who were involved in constructing the building. We're going to have, we have people who are experts in what will happen on the move on Sunday. We have tours around the technology that are in the building here. So feel free to, in the back, join a tour, arrange an interview, and take time to interview any of the guests who are here today. But to close this, we thought about having a ribbon cutting, but that just didn't seem true San Francisco style to have a ribbon cutting. And so we thought about what we do with our cancer patients when they complete their cancer treatment. The tradition is to commemorate the beginning of a healthy new life following cancer care by ringing a bell. So what kind of bell did we need here for this special moment? We needed a new bell. And thank you to the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Authority and Ed Riskin. We have a cable car bell, a genuine cable car bell to be rung. Now, we have a special person that we are going to ask to ring that bell, Akshay Sharma, and I'll ask Akshay in a minute to ring the bell. Akshay is a successful filmmaker. He's 19 years old, but he's already a successful filmmaker. He was diagnosed with osteocarcinoma, a bone cancer, last June, and is recuperating from a successful surgery to save his leg. Dr. Rob Goldsby, who I think is here, Rob, has been his physician. And Dr. Goldsby has confidence that Akshay will be the first cancer patient to complete his treatment here at Mission Bay. Now, Akshay is very impressive, successful filmmaker, completed, as he said, his penultimate round of chemotherapy just this week. And he is heading to UC Davis in the fall as a pre-med. We're very proud of you, Akshay. So if I can, Akshay, I guess I would like to ask all of our distinguished guests here in the front to please stand. And Akshay, we'd ask you to ring the bell.